Okay, so again, we're working together, we're doing a little think aloud, and we're going to be crafting our claim. So the first thing that we do is we got to read through this article. This one is called Dressed for Success by Terry Clough. So what we're looking at right now is we're trying to figure out the topic of all of this. And Braxton, you there now?
Yeah.
Okay, inside your papers, do you have a sheet that says claiming or crafting the claim?
I don't see it. It might be in my thing.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the sheet that you're gonna need, buddy. So what we're doing right now is we're reading through this little article called Dress for Success by Terry Clough. We've done this the last 2 days, so I'm gonna do my best to get you caught up, okay? And I'm gonna be modeling how to think about these and what to do. So the first thing we all do is we read through the article. You guys too, read through the article, please. Yeah, Porter.
On the iPad, the video, can we see like the top of it?
All I want them to be able to do is, they'll be fine. It's good. It's good. We're great. You're right. Thank you. You did a good job. Okay, so everyone's going to read through this. Then we'll come back and we'll discuss what the topic is. Go ahead. No, not out loud. You can do it in your head. Everyone should be reading. Because otherwise it's too much to read through all at once. Okay, so when we look at this, the first thing that we need to fill out is the topic on this sheet. Sorry, there's going to be a lot of switching back and forth. This way, my students on the Zoom, you'll be able to see this better. So the first thing we're looking at is the topic. What did we have for the topic of that entire article? If you didn't get through it all, you probably were still able to figure out the topic. What was the topic, Mackenzie?
The topic, I think, was that you should dress the same.
Nope, I don't want you to craft the claim. I just want to know, what was this about?
It was about like
2 words is all you need. The main idea. If someone were to say, what were they talking about in here? They were talking about.
dress successfully.
Okay, I think if we can more specifically, Braylon.
School clothes.
Okay, but more important than school clothes, or more specifically, it's school. Anyone? Delia.
Uniforms.
Yeah, specifically, it's school uniforms. That's what this was all about. Was school uniforms. Hey, Danielle. Danielle, you there? Got you now, Danielle?
What?
Do I got you now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're working on crafting the claim again here.
Okay.
So, do you have that sheet?
No.
Okay, then you're going to have to set one up in your notebook. There is one included right now in all of your work that's in the office at school. I have all the work from this week including your
Okay.
math journal. It's in the office here at school. So if you don't have any of these yet, all of your work is at school.
Okay.
That goes for anybody else that's at home too that doesn't have these things. They're at school.
No. Bad.
Okay, so Danielle, the topic of this one was school uniforms.
Mr. Roth?
Yeah, Chase.
Hi, Dad. I want to know if we can just like pick up our schoolwork or whatever.
You sure could. It's there. I don't have everything for next week, but I do have everything for this week.
Okay, we'll get that data.
I will have everything for next week down there Monday morning. I'm going to come up over the weekend and do some work too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
No problem. Glad to help. Okay, so now I'm going to click back to the other one so we can look at the actual one here. So this is broken down into 3 parts. Can we see the 3 parts here? We've got 1, 2, and 3. People watching the Zoom, can you see that when I write on there, can you see it? People on the Zoom, can you see when I write on the screen?
No.
Darn it.
No.
That was part of my goal, was to help you with that. So, but can you see how there's 3 different sections there? We're going to have 4 different sources that we're going to write down. How many different things are we going to write down today?
4.
So even though yours has this, it looks like it has a spot for 3, you might have to write a little smaller. Is everybody understanding?
Yep.
And I will switch back and forth. I will switch back and forth. So I'm going to see if I can. I don't think there's a way that I can make that work to write on it.
What's that little pencil?
Well, it's hard to do because they can see this. All right, so we're reading the first one. The first one says, the National Association of Secondary School Principals stated that when all students are wearing the same outfit, they are less concerned about how they look and how they fit in with their peers. Thus, they can concentrate on their schoolwork. Okay. Yeah, what's up, Porter?
What does thus mean?
Thus is like therefore, or if they're not focusing on how they fit in with their peers, then they can concentrate on their schoolwork. Or because they're not focusing on that, they can focus on their schoolwork. So here's what we're looking at right now. We're looking, first we need our source. We can abbreviate. What was our source for this information? What was our source? Hadley, okay, just wait, Hadley. I'm going to draw sticks is what I'm doing. Chase, what was our source? Oh, it changed on me. Whoop. That's the one we wanted. My bad. Okay, Chase, what is the, what was our source on this one?
What, on like the first one?
Yep, the one we just read. What's our source?
The National Association of Secondary Schools?
School principal. Very good, Chase. Very good. So, did someone send me a message about please move something, the window away from? Is that what that is, or what's going on here? Somebody on the Zoom send me a message? Alright, then I'm going to keep moving. We can abbreviate that. We're going to abbreviate so when you're writing down your source, it's going to say N-A-S SP. So I'm going to click back to my other screen.
Mr. Law.
Yeah, what's up?
We didn't choose if it was con or pro evidence.
Oh, good point. So does it sound like they're pro school uniforms? Are they in favor of them? Or are they against school uniforms?
In favor.
Okay, Parker?
Sorry.
Yeah, we gotta try and hold that back. Do we think that they're promoting school uniforms, or are they against school uniforms? What do we think and why? Danielle, for school uniforms or against school uniforms?
You said against or?
Yeah, are they pro school uniforms so they think they're a good thing, or are they con school uniforms so they think they're a bad thing?
Pro.
Okay, so we're doing pro evidence here. Everybody understand? We have pro evidence and con evidence. We're going to be doing pro. How many pieces of evidence are we going to have?
4.
4. So the first one is the, you may have to write small. Our source was the NASSP. And that stands for the National Association of Secondary School.
Principals.
Okay, now, what are we talking about? Our cause is
School uniforms.
school uniforms. Or I guess maybe this one is the same clothes. I don't know if it specifically said school uniforms, or it said when they're not worried about their clothes. Now I gotta click back. How's everyone doing?
Good. Good.
Okay, I'm going to switch back over. I'm not sure if this is working better, but we'll see how people feel afterwards. So when people are not concerned or they're wearing the same outfit, we can make the assumption we're talking about school uniforms, yes? Okay. What is the effect of school uniforms then? Here's what I think. I'm going to model this one. I'm modeling. I think that it says when students are wearing the same outfit, they're less concerned about fitting in. They concentrate on their schoolwork. So I'm going to put down something like that. That's what I think we should put down. I'll help you. I'm going to reshare. Yikes, that doesn't sound good. So, with school uniforms, students aren't as concerned about fitting in. I'm going to use an ampersand for my and. I know it's a little blurry, but it's the best I can do, guys. Aren't as concerned about fitting in and concentrate on learning.
That is good.
Once you're done with that, see if you can figure out the source for the next pair. Oh, you guys can't either. We're all on the same page.
I can barely see that.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm trying to do it so you guys have to do some of the writing on your own and just aren't copying mine verbatim.
Easy money.
Yeah, add it to more.
Guys, I'm going to try and clean the camera real quick and see if that helps.
Okay.
Your chair does not like you today.
No, not really. It didn't help.
Helped a little.
Okay.
No, not what I wanted.
Oh, I feel it.
There we go. This is not working at all how I hoped, but I'm trying. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, so I'm trying, but I don't think I'm doing a very good job. Okay, so taking a look at the next paragraph.
If it'll load.
Not what I wanted at all, of course, because why would it be? A study by the University of Houston. A study by the University of Houston found that elementary school girls' language test scores increased by about 3 percentile points after uniforms were introduced. What's our source? What is our source? Rajan.
The UH for short.
Or what?
Can it be UH for short? University of Houston?
Yes, the University of Houston, which is, we can abbreviate. So here's our second one. We're going to move down. This time our source is the U of H. And they say that school uniforms, what do school uniforms do? I'm going to click over. So U of H, school uniforms. What do school uniforms do according to the U of H? Adam, what does it say that school uniforms did according to the University of Houston? Autumn,
Yeah.
What does it say according to the University of Houston that school uniforms did?
Their test scores were girls' language test scores were increased.
By 3 percentile points. Okay, so you should put this in your own words then. So school uniforms increased elementary girls' language test scores by 3.
Percentile points.
Put that in your own words. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to start mine in a second.
Can you say that again?
Well, you should be able to look up there, Hadley. It's right there on the screen, right? Do you see it on the screen, the words? Can you see the words, Hadley? Hadley, are the words still up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so look, University of Houston, what did they find, Hadley? You tell me. They found
That girls'
elementary.
language
We want to shrink it down. So, elementary girls language
test scores increased by 3 percentile points.
See, you knew the whole time. You can do it. I knew you could do it. I'm going to write mine. Hopefully you guys are doing the same. Hey, if we're not asking a question, we may want to mute because I hear somebody's pencil scratching really loud, which I'm happy to hear it's working, but it might be a little distracting. So if you have questions, unmute. Okay, I'm going to switch back to mine. So I have the U of H says school uniforms, elementary girls' language test scores increased by 3 percentile points. Yes?
I think it'd help if you shut the lights off. One of them.
It might. You can try it. Go get them, Parker.
Okay.
Good. I'm glad it helped. Maybe I should have done it earlier.
It's still a little bit blurry, but it should be good.
It's,
It's way better.
yeah, it's not
At least you
good.
can read it.
Who needs more time? Anyone need more time on this?
You know.
I do.
Okay, give you another few minutes here. Now remember, as you're working on this, the whole goal of this is this sets up your whole paragraph, right? The topic is, you would say something about school uniforms. Then you need 3 pieces of supporting evidence. We have one that you'd say something about the National Association of Secondary School Principals stated that when students aren't worried about fitting in, they are able to concentrate more on their learning. You guys get how I'm speaking the paragraph. Do you guys get that? This will help you. Everybody ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going back to that other screen. This is a little annoying for me. I think we'll talk about how we feel like this went and which worked better after we're done. So now we're looking at the last paragraph when it pops up. quit spinning. There are two pieces of information in here. Who's our next source? Find our next source. Delia, who's our next source? Well, we're in the number 3 paragraph here, Delia. Who's our next source? The next person that had something to say about school uniforms.
The former U.S. Secretary of State
Hillary Clinton. So if we wanted to just shorten down our source, we might just write, I might just write Hillary Clinton. I'm probably, for my source, just going to write down Hillary Clinton. Nope, Hillary Clinton works.
Isn't it the former U.S. Secretary?
Yep, but that's not what's important right now. She's also a former presidential candidate. We can add that when we go back. We can add that when we go back. Remember, we want to keep it short. So we're just going to say Hillary Clinton for now. Now, again, she's talking about school uniforms. So our cause is school uniforms. Figure out what she has to say about school uniforms. So those of you working at home, here's what I got right now. Here's what I've got so far. Hillary Clinton says that school uniforms, whoops. Now we're going to figure out what she has to say. Obviously we can't right now, but okay, what does Hillary Clinton say about school uniforms? Ava, what does Hillary Clinton say about the school uniforms?
That school uniforms has a way to help students focus on learning.
Okay, so here's what I see. I see that she says that if we take away this choice of clothes, the students will focus on
school.
Okay, so here's what we're going to put. Something about take the clothing choice away. I'm going to switch back to my other sheet so you guys can see. You'd think I'd have this down to a science now. Take the clothing choice away, comma, students can focus on, what can they focus on, class? They focus on learning. Very good. We're only one away here, and then we're done with our facts, then we can craft the claim.
Does that say Aloud?
School uniforms. Take the clothing choice away. Students can focus on learning. In some places they do have school uniforms.
I know places that have them, like New York, that have public schools.
Okay, who's still working on this? Anybody need more time? Zoomers need more time? Okay, then we're going back to the other sheet. This time, we are looking for our last source. This time we are looking for our last source. So we left off at take that clothing choices off the table and put the focus on school, not on what you're wearing. Chris Hammonds, principal of Woodland Middle School in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, stated that uniforms provide for less distraction, less drama, and more of a focus on learning. Who's our source? Who is our source? Braxton. Braxton, who's our source?
The secretary?
Well, we already did that one. That was Hillary Clinton. Braxton, can you see the words up on the screen? Who gave us the last little bit of information?
Chris Hammonds?
Yeah, Chris Hammonds. Chris Hammonds is our source. And he's also talking about school uniforms. So your first two things should look the same as your other ones. Chris Hammonds and school uniforms. Figure out what you want to say, or what Chris Hammonds had to say. Summarize what he has to say. Okay, how would we summarize this? Braden, what does Chris Hammond say?
He says that it helps students more focus on learning.
So that's a very important part. It does help them focus on learning. Very good, Braden. But there's one more thing that he says before that.
Less drama.
Yes, I love that. Less drama. And I'm going to switch over. You guys ready? Can I switch over to the other sheet for you guys? We good? Okay, here I go. Other sheet so you guys can see. Less drama. Oh, I gotta move it down. Less drama and more. What did you say, Braden? More focus
Focus on learning.
on learning. Very good, Braden. That's a great summarization. One of these, now once you're done writing that, one of these is not as good of a piece of information as the others. Try and identify which one it is. Remember what we talked about yesterday. Braden, I think you did a really good job there. What's up?
I was trying to whisper talk to myself. I was saying that this afternoon is going a lot better.
Hadley, you're raising your hand. What's up? Hadley, I saw you raised your hand. What's up?
What? I did?
That's what it said. Just popped up on my screen. Okay, does anybody need more time to write? Okay, here we go. I'm going to zoom out. It's probably going to get a little blurrier. But here's what we got. We've got the NASSP. That said something. The U of H, Hillary Clinton, and Chris Hammond. I told you that we're only going to use 3 of these. If we're only going to use 3, which one is the one to get rid of? Who thinks they have a good idea and why? No, Blake. Elizabeth, which one would you get rid of and why?
Muted.
Elizabeth, which one would you get rid of and why?
Sorry, I was muted.
That's okay.
I would pick Chris Hampson, Hammond, or something like that, because he's talking about everything else that's already been mentioned in the story, and it's a lot shorter than all the others.
Okay. Elizabeth, I disagree, and here's why. I like that you had a reason, but Chris Hammond's he's a principal, right?
Yeah.
So he knows. We would assume that a principal knows something about education, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Elizabeth, which one of these people is probably not an expert on education?
Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Whatever people think of Hillary Clinton, what I will say is, I don't think she's an expert on education. Just like if someone came in and said, hey, I've got this really bad rash. Can you take a look at it and tell me what you think? Am I the person to give my opinion on that?
No.
No, because I'm not a dermatologist. I'm not a doctor that studies skin. So I'm not an expert. So I shouldn't be the one to comment on that, right? Now, is Hillary Clinton's opinion as a former Secretary of State and former presidential nominee, is she someone that may be knowledgeable in education? Sure, she may be more knowledgeable than just some random person, right?
Yeah.
But is she more, so I'm asking this to the whole class, is she more of an authority on education than the National Association of Secondary School Principals? No.
No.
Or a study by the University of Houston?
No.
Or an actual school principal that maybe his school has uniforms?
No.
No, she's the least credible, and it has nothing to do with who she is as a person. It's just she doesn't have the background in it. Does that make sense? So when you're thinking about your sources, you need to think about who's the most reliable. Everyone understand? Braylon.
Is that the Hillary Clinton that ran against Trump?
Yes.
Oh.
And it's not a comment on her as a politician or anything like that. It's just, like I said, if someone asks me my opinion on financial planning and investments, am I the person to give my opinion on that? No, because I'm not an expert on it. But I may be able to give you more of a better opinion if we were talking about elementary math, then I'm the person you come to, right? Okay, so now we got to craft the claim. This is the last part. We always start this the same way. Everybody ready?
Yep.
So, in the article, in quotation marks, dress for success, second quotation mark. I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit for my Zoom meeting ears. By Terry Cloth. I'm going to let you guys get that far. This time time Terry's a he. So we put a comma. We're going to say he claims that wearing what?
School
Uniforms.
And I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to let you guys get caught up. I'm going to zoom up just a tish so you guys can see everything. So it didn't help. That's a little better. What's one thing that he claimed? Maddie, what's one thing that he says it decreases?
Like it decreases, like not paying attention.
So, what if we called not paying attention, Maddie? What if we called it distractions? How do you like that?
That's good.
So we're going to say, wearing school uniforms decreases distractions. I think I'm going off the page there a little bit for you guys. He claims it decreases distractions and increases the, what does it increase? Increases the, what does it increase, Gavin?
Probably the learning.
Okay, not just the learning, but the, starts with an F, Gavin. We used it a couple times in there.
Focus.
Focus on learning. Okay, I'm going to let you guys finish copying that down. Once you have it copied down, this is something that you should probably keep in your writing notebook or somewhere nearby as a reference. Yep, then we're going to move on to a reading worksheet that we're going to do, but I'm going to give you guys, Zoomers, you can take a little bit of a break. If you don't have this worksheet, it's one that you're probably going to have to work on your own, or you can work with us, I guess, listen in, but you won't be able to fill it out. But you can take a little bit of break once you have this written down.
Mr. Off,
Yep.
can you pull the camera back just a little?
I think I have everything in there.
Oh yeah, now I can see it.
So remember, when we're doing this, what we're looking for is we're looking for our source,